Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Wheaties Gear Review. As you can tell, we got a new bench mat with our logo, so it's kind of cool. But what we're going to do today is, I was talking to a friend of mine and we were kind of discussing EDC, right? What do you carry in your pockets? Pocket carry, right? And as we were doing that, we kind of were talking about, price, and he's kind of more of an entry level. He doesn't really, he's got a buck knife. He's got a couple pins, things like that, but he didn't really know where to start. So I kind of sat down with him and we went over some things that I thought were, good budget, entry level, get into EDC, but something that you could build on. None of this stuff is super cheap. None of it's like real ultra cheap Temu stuff. He doesn't shop on Temu, doesn't trust it, which I don't blame him at all. I've had good luck, I've had bad luck. That being said, I wanted to build a kit of things that he might have heard and trusted brands. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into where we kind of steered ourselves and what we started with and why. So this is kind of what we settled on. So when we were talking about it, we decided, hey, we needed a light. We wanted a razor knife or utility knife, a pen or pencil, and then a good folding pocket knife. And this is a way that I thought was probably the best way to go. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a million different ways you could have turned this. People have preferences on what they would have used. But he wanted to do this for under $75. So I tried to get decent stuff for under 75 bucks that I trusted, he was comfortable with, kind of went off of what he wanted and his preferences were, and then built it from there. So we'll kind of go over each one individually, and we'll start with, let's say we'll go from smallest to largest, right? So let's start up here. And this is just a small utility knife. Right in. It's a little dented, but it should be fine. Oh, extra blades. Fantastic. There's always a little spot where you can undo them. All right, there we go. It's kind of hard to see. It's upside down. Better look at it. Now you can tell you've got your bottle opener, right? So hey, one tool right there, small little tape measure. If I'm not mistaken, it's centimeters on one side, inches on the other. You've got a small little size 6 millimeter hex right there. And then either a kind of lanyard holder. It's not really, I was checking to see if it was skinny enough to be a pry bar or a flathead screwdriver, but it's not. And I know there's a safety lock on it. And I've never used this before. Okay. So I guess you just press that and then you pull your blade out. So I guess the only drawback on this one is you've got to depress that, which is your safety, and then you pull your blade out until it locks. There. Now it's locked. So it's a 2-position lock, so you can push it back again and it locks there. And pull it forward to get, most of your blade out. So on this thing, see it a little bit better up close, and it's fairly thin. And it's stainless, so it's not uber light, are ultralight like titanium would be, but I mean, it is stainless. It's gonna last for a long time. So overall, the length on this thing is 3.27 inches. It's 1.15 the width, and then it's 0.16 inches thick. So fairly small. One thing I do like about it is it comes with the extra blades. And there's 5 of them, 5 extra blades. So you're looking at the blades being I think it says on there. Yeah, it's a SK5 steel blades with a 62 to 63 HRC rating. So pretty decent blades. But, you know, one drawback on this that I didn't think of when I got it was there's not really a belt clip, so it would really be a pocket carry, just 5th pocket or main pocket. I mean, you could hook a lanyard around it and then use that kind of outside your pocket if you wanted quick access to it. But still, this thing was $13. So not a bad place to start. There are, in this price range, there's a lot of tools out there. I chose this one because it came with the 5 extra blades, but there are a lot of others out there that are in the $9 to $25 range, so it's preference. This was real thin, and, you know, you could actually almost put that in a wallet.
All right, who's next?
All right, and the next thing we got is the pin / I'll show you when we get it out. I've seen a lot of reviews on these, and there's a couple different makers. I think one company makes these things, and then other people put their names on it. So this one is made by Rambos, and it's a 4-in-1 pin. And what I think's cool about these is instead of carrying multiple pins, you can carry one. And this is, like I said, this is a Rambos pin, and it's a full-size pin. It's not a mini, you know, micro EDC pin. But what I like about this is it's a gravity pin. So, real quick, pull out some paper. You hold it on blue, where you're looking at blue, press the button, and you're writing in blue ink. You just press it right there. That closes it. We're looking at red. Wrote in red. Close it, move it to the top. We're showing black. Got it in black. And then the last one is on the top. Just close it, depress it again, and you break your lid. Now you got your pencil. So I thought that was pretty cool. Having, you know, 3 colors of ink and a 0.7 mechanical pencil. It's got a good little clip on it. Put it in your pocket. Like I said, you just depress it there. It's got a good nut, you know, it feels like it's all metal, but it's got like a good rubberized coating over it. And it writes good. I mean, I like the way it writes. I'm actually kind of envious of the pen. I'm going to have to get another one. I really like this pen. That being said, what else do we have in here? Okay, so directions. Shows you how it works. I won't go into that. Oh, okay, I didn't even notice that. Let's see. Oh, where do they go? Oh, right there. Okay, so you have an eraser. I didn't realize that when I was looking at it. So you have your refills. Oh no, that's just an eraser. That's not refills. It's just a eraser. It comes with it. Those are your refills. There's 3 of them. And then you have all your different ink. So you have your red, your blue, your black. And then they even gave you some extra 7 HB refills for your pencil. So not bad. I mean, you got some refills there. You got the pencil, pen, combo. They gave you an eraser. Like I said, this was made by a company called Rambos. And it's the Gravity Select pen, 4-in-1 pen. This thing was $13.20. Yes, we could have went with a 701, right? Metal pen. But we were looking for something kind of, if you can see the colors. He liked the gunmetal color, so I thought those would work. And, they're not a bad price, guys. I mean, we're looking at $13 and $13. So, not too bad to get started. Especially, we've got some extra goodies that come with them, so you don't have to buy anything immediately. And then the next thing, so we have to look at this as 2 parts. It was cheaper to buy a set of 2, so I chose to do that. And for him, he's only going to pay for 1 out of 2. So if you break it down, you're looking at the next item of being $12 because he's only getting the 1. I'm going to keep the other. And it just made more sense because if not, I think you can catch them on sale. But a lot of times they're like $23, and I paid $24 for 2. Sometimes I've seen the singles for $12.99. So you can kind of base it upon that. But this is just the Through Night Saber. I've read a bunch of reviews on these things, and people say they are a very, very durable light. A lot of bang for the buck. A lot of features shoved in a small light, but yet it's still simple. So that's kind of what we were going for, was something we knew was going to last, something that was robust, but yet simple to operate. Nothing with all the RGBs on the side and click the button 8 times to lock it, click it 8 more times to unlock it, 3 times for this, 3 times for that. We wanted a simple, robust, well-made pocket EDC flashlight, and that's why we went with this one. Now, you can go with your O-lights. You can go with Coast brand. There's a lot of cheap lights out there. $12, I thought this one was pretty versatile, to say the least, for the $12. A little bit about this light is it's the True Night Saber. On the brightest setting, you're looking at, I think they're weird. It's 659 lumens on high. It's made out of aerospace aluminum with a non-slip kind of outer shell here, which I can see that. It's got some knurling on it. So it's got a pretty decent grip for being aluminum. It's got a dual direction pocket clip. So you can hook it on your headlight, point it forward, then also turn around and put it in your pocket. The thing's fairly light for being aluminum and having a battery in it. It weighs 1.97 ounces. It's got a PPMA TIR optic lens for good white clear light. The LED is a SST20. I don't know if you can get in there and see it. But one feature that I like on this light is you've got the small battery, which is the 920 milliamp hour 14500 battery. What I like about these batteries is it is basically a rechargeable AA battery, but you charge it there. But if you're in a bind and this dies and you don't have a way to charge it, one of the most common batteries that you could find anywhere at a gas station, sometimes they even have them in hotel lobbies, AA battery. You could toss a AA battery in this light and be back in the fight. So, it's a real good feature of this light is that you have that capability of being dual function. You know, right? It's rechargeable, but then it could also run off of a single AA battery. So one thing I do like about this is it's just a rear push button. Press it once, you're on low. Press it again, you're on high. One more time, you're off. So low, off, high, off. Not much to it. So it's saying that on high you have, well, turbo mode, which I guess you have to double click for turbo mode, is 659 lumens on high, but that's only going to last you about 3 minutes. Or in turbo. If you're in high, you're looking at 276 lumens, where you're going to have about an hour and 40 minutes. Then when you're in low, you're going to have 57 lumens and you're looking about 19 hours. That's if you're running off of the rechargeable 14500 battery that's in there. If you're going to run it off of a AA battery, of course, your numbers are going to drop a little bit. So you're only going to have high mode at 235 lumens, which is going to run for about an hour and 15 minutes. And then you'll have your low mode, which is 24 lumens, which will run for about 14 hours. Now, when you're running off of the rechargeable battery, this thing will have about 140 meter throw. When you're running off of the AA battery, you're looking at about a 90 meter throw. All in all, I think it's a good, well-made light for the $12. So you kind of add that in there. So we've got our razor knife, got our pen pencil combo, got our light. The last thing is our pocket carry folder. I went with the best knife I could get for the money. Like I said, we were trying to keep it under 75 bucks. I'll go over at the end what everything actually costs. But I don't think you can go wrong with that pocket knife, right? That is a Civivi Mini Praxis, which I think is one of the best bang for your buck knives that you can buy. I mean, the quality, just the feel. I mean, that's right out of the box, guys, and this thing's so smooth. I mean, I'm barely pressing on the back. I've got some pretty good knives that you kind of have to press real hard. That's just a light. I mean, I'm just kind of rubbing my finger across the top. Really no effort whatsoever. Just pull your finger across the top. And it comes open fairly real easy. And you just can't beat that knife. And I mean, if you're right-handed, which is good because I'm left-handed and no problem getting to the liner lock, which it does have a liner lock. It's got a nice deep belt clip, deep carry belt clip. So it'll be point up carry. But that ceramic ball bearing in there and the way the detent is is just, it's such a smooth action. You really don't know if you haven't had a Civivi, buy one and just kind of feel that action. It's almost effortless. It's got the G10 scales on it. The blade's made out of D2 steel, and it comes in the black stone washed, which isn't, jet black. It's a black stone wash, which kind of matches into our theme, a little bit here, even though the light's pure black. And in here you get their typical, cleaning cloth, warranty and product information. Love your new knife. I wish they should make these stickers. I like sticking stickers on stuff. Maybe it is a sticker. I don't know. I'll play with that later. This is a sticker. I think that's pretty cool. I stick stickers on a bunch of stuff, so I like having extra stickers. And then they get you with a product catalog, right? So once you see how nice this knife is, they get you hooked and try to get you to buy one of their super expensive ones. And then this is unique. I like these cases because I will never put the knife back in this case. But it is a good size case for anything that you want to put inside and kind of, it's like a nice jacket liner material inside, fuzzy material. So anything that you want to throw inside of that and use it, repurpose it somewhere else is definitely what I'm going to do with the case. I would repurpose it, but he can do what he wants to with it. All in all, guys, I think this is a good start for an everyday. He's going to have his own wallet. He's going to have his own set of car keys and however he decides to carry his keys. But then now he's going to carry this stuff. And I think this is a great starting point. And actually, I could have went up somewhere on some pricing. Even could have went down a little bit. But we're at $67.94 is where we came in on this beginning of his everyday carry. And I think this was a good start. Tell me, what would you use instead of the Civivi Mini Praxis? Or the through night light, the Rambo's pin, and then the little. I can tell you what I probably would have used here. He's not big on branded things that have brands, and you can tell that there's hardly any branding on any of this stuff. It's slight, it's subtle. He didn't want names. I get that. A lot of people don't. But instead of this one, I always buy the heart from Walmart. Let me see if I've got one here. I don't think I've got one close. I might. I have like 7 of them things, maybe even more. No, I guess I would actually have 8 of them because they come in a 2-pack. I would have went this route myself. I like the heart because you can open and close it without having to reach in there. There's a lot of similarities, right? The heart's a little bit shorter, but just a hair taller and a hair thicker. But these hearts come in we're not reviewing these, but I got to talk about them because I love them. These hearts come in a 2-pack at Walmart for $8.88. That's probably what I would have chose over this gunmetal blade here, just because I've tried these. I have several of them. They work. Quick, easy access to change your blades. I can't believe I was able to pull the blade out and put it back in on camera because I'm looking through my phone, not at what I'm actually doing. Got a place for, a bit, make it a bit driver, but you got the pocket clip. And I think that's what I myself wouldn't give up, is the pocket clip. So that's where I would have went. But all in all, I think he's going to be satisfied with this start. What do y'all think? Let me know what you could have used or what you would have used. Remember, the price is under $75. We actually came in well under 70. So, not really a bad start. Let me know what you would have changed, what you would have done different. Love y'all. Remember, like, share, subscribe, click all notifications, tell your friends about us, tell your enemies about us. We don't care. We just want people to come join the channel and help us grow, and maybe they'll get something along the way with a review of some sort that we do that they didn't know about. Like always, love y'all. See you on the next one.